Title says it all, doesn't it? Alright, y'all. Hope you're all having a great RG love. I'm LRock617 back again today with a couple more brawlers. So Tough Turf is a game that is known in some circles. It's very much something of an arcade jank favorite. It's not a bad game by any stretch. It's pretty basic and it has great music, but it can be kind of sketch at times in terms of the difficulty. Like, for the most part, it's pretty simple and easy, but sometimes if the game gets into a position where it can snowball, it can get pretty ugly pretty quickly. For the first few years that I was aware of its existence, I really couldn't ever get a run together with it. And then right around, I think it was 2023, maybe 2022, was my first 1cc, and I've really enjoyed it ever since because I finally felt like I figured out like what needs to be done to take care of this game. And even though I knew the simplicity of it, there's some fundamental stuff that hadn't really clicked yet. Let's go ahead and pop our quarter in. We'll start on character control. So there's a couple of things to know about this game. First of all, we're getting off a truck. I have no idea why we're getting off a truck, but here it is.
Come on, punk, let's go.
Jump up here. Go behind this thing, get a bat. We're hoping to hang on to this for the rest of the game. Weapons in this game are quite powerful. They're actually not the fastest way to play the game. There's actually a faster strat involving just punching, but it's a lot more complicated because you essentially have to combo enemies to death, and it's a lot.
Yo.
All right, that annoys me. Give me 1 second. I thought I updated that, and I apologize. There it is. Of course, I fixed the other one.
Go.
Alright, so I probably shouldn't have reset, but salt's a funny thing. I also didn't have a timer showing, so let's fix that too. Hell, I'm super well prepared.
Come on, punk, let's...
One more second. My timer didn't load. In time, ironically. Alright, let's go do this. Good enough, I guess. Alright, so anyway, back to the game at hand. For some reason the tires are red and we're getting off the back of a truck.
Come on, punk, let's go.
We're gonna hop up here, go behind the cylinder, get a bat. This is primarily for safety reasons. Weapons are very powerful in this game. You can essentially get through the whole game minus the last stage with weapon spam. They do really good damage. Sometimes you can kill some enemies like these guys with the dark hair pretty quickly with like only 2 hits.
Yo.
The bat is inferior to the pipe because pipe is worth more points. So if you're playing for score, you have to use pipe. But bat is just easier to obtain and to get it earlier. So you can just essentially play the whole game using this one weapon, and that's usually my goal. One more hit. Mentioned before, this game has really good music. I'm just showcasing it now. The dev behind this game is interesting. It was developed by Sunsoft, but it was regionally released in the US by Sega. So you can just consider it a Sega Sunsoft joint. Not really a bad thing. Up here. So there are 4 segments in every stage that isn't the last stage. The last wave includes a boss character of some kind, or a wave of boss characters. We've been fighting enemies that are roughly our size for the entire stage, but the last 2 enemies in this final segment are going to be quite a bit larger. But they get basically beat up by the same stuff. The guy in the shades is a little bit more of a problem though, mainly because of increased health. This guy takes 4 hits to take down. The other one only took 3. There we go. So a couple dangers about this game. There are no extra lives. You have 1 life to complete the whole game. And if you fail the 1cc, you have to start all the way over. Like, you have to 1cc this game in order to beat it. There's no continues.
Go.
There's also no health ups. You get 2 of your little HP pellets back when you beat a stage. And that's generally good enough to be able to carry you. That was annoying. That's what I get for trying to go for the pipe. As in that one that's on the ground. Take this guy out. Da-da-da. We got isometrics, baby! Look at all these cubes. This segment's one of the trickier ones, and it's probably the hardest thing in this stage, minus the boss. Somehow he had an earlier attack frame than I did. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And I now have to jump kick to try to get a weapon. Which is probably going to take some work. Okay, so we got pipe now. We'll get more points this way. It's weird, the guy who jumped up on the box, I've misjudged how fast his attack can happen many times, and you'd never think he'd be faster. Maybe I just need to preemptively throw a swing, I don't know. We're still doing okay on health, but we could definitely be doing better. And it's all about just keeping your distance and making sure you can get the hits. Much like with most beat-em-ups. Okay, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. Sometimes you just kind of have to wait for them to line up with you in a way that's favorable to you. If you try to line up with them first, there's a decent chance they'll get the first hit, and you never want that to happen. Hit this guy. So anyway, back to our quote-unquote plot. So we get off the back of a truck. We're now fighting our way through the sewers into a factory, probably because beat-em-ups. But we have no idea when any of this is happening. There's no... That was very unfortunate. This guy is actually a problem. The Mohawk enemies are probably the hardest enemies in the game. It's either them or the guys in the leather jackets, but I'll get to them later. These guys, if you can't hit them while they're trying to line up with you, they essentially can dominate any range. And they have delayed wake-up, so the timing of your hits if you're trying to combo them to death is requires a little bit more finesse. Yeah, we're just... It kind of just looks like we're getting off work as either, you know, someone who sells plumbing equipment, maybe a McDonald's manager, it could be the plot of a James Spader movie. Either way, we're going deeper underground. I'm going to try and line up with the bottom pixel. Okay, that should work. Reason why is if we can get enemies to line up, we can do that. There's no guarantee of this. A lot of this relies on good enemy behavior. You almost had me there. I love that. There we go. Alright, this second segment, if I can't take care of them quickly and they get a jump on me, this one's actually pretty tricky. We also get introduced to a new enemy type here. This guy right here. The guys in the leather jackets I was talking about earlier. And stuff like this can happen. Unfortunate. Got knocked off my axis too. Yeah, they're a little bit faster. Okay. Took a little more damage than I would have liked to. This is one of the only obstacle sections we have to deal with in the game, and it's harder than any enemy. These rolling pins. I was late for the jump. Don't love that. Those do 2 damage apiece, so that's incredibly punishing if it happens.
Come on, Pop, let's
Okay,
go.
hopefully the rest of the game can go okay. Need them to line up with me. I'm trying to exploit them. Like so. There we go. At least they cooperated. You get 2 health back. Stage 4, I think stage 4 is actually a little bit easier than stage 3. Some problem areas, but overall quite a bit easier. The last segment's probably the one exception. I'm gonna go back to the left, let this leather jacket guy spawn next to the fence. Gonna try and finish him off before any other enemies can interact with us. Worked out. I would have not bet any part of my wallet on that guy having that kind of range with a kick. I got out of range for a pipe. Well, I got in range for a pipe, but he wasn't going to be able to swing it fast enough, and I was correct about that. But that Phantom hitbox was a little much. Hey, what's up, Lyra? Thank you. Alright, bit of a rough go of it so far, but we're still in there.
Come on, Punk, let's go.
So yeah, this game, as far as my history with it, even I'll admit it didn't really click with me at first, for the first few years that I made attempts on playing it. But I feel like I've gotten fairly consistent at it, now I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy it more when it cooperates, and today it has not been, but them's the breaks sometimes. Can't really force games to do what you want most of the time. God, that synchronicity was a bit much. This guy's just toying with me right now. Yeah, that's what he wanted. And I guess I fail for it. There we go. Glad you enjoyed WoW. I'm probably one of the few people that's ever played video games that has never touched WoW. A decision I stand by, but I know a lot of people love it, and that's okay. In fact, that's great. No. No. That was an excellent double hit. Probably the highlight of the run so far. Alright, so this guy I want to line up with me, but I need to get the hit first. He has a jump kick that can close distance, and it's really dangerous to try to contend with. Okay, off we go. But we got some good rest as well.
Go.
Alright, so this part could be a problem. We have two Mohawk guys. One is bad enough. If I can take care of one quickly, I won't have to fight both of them. But that's a big if. Early swing. Okay. Don't love that. Yeah, that's the real danger. If they like pause or pivot while you're trying to hit them, they can really mess you up. You know what I mean? He had delayed wake up there. He also has this habit of going to the part of the Z-axis where he can hit me. Like, he's way smarter than most enemies would be in this game. I don't know how that missed, but okay. Now, let's move on. Hoping for a good stage 5. Stage 6 is going to be a concern. The last wave in stage 6 is... I feel like I lose 2 health every time, so... Health right now, given what happened in the previous couple stages, is pretty precious. Particularly stage 3. Stage 3 was an issue. Slight panic mode. Move on.
Go.
Big chillin'. This exploit usually works, but there are some attacks where the hitbox actually can extend above your head and still hit you. Some of the kicks do, for example. Okay, so for this segment, I came up with a different strat recently, and I can't remember what it is, so I'm just gonna have to wing it, I think. I don't involve going off the platform, whereas I used to stay on it. Yeah, let's fail. Do not like that. Ooh, get anti-aired. That was good. A little bit early with these swings. I should probably be trying to course correct that. Yup.
Yo.
Yump our way to freedom. Alright, what you doing? We got another exploit here. I'm gonna try to hit enemies off the side. They generally start out by getting pretty far away from it, and that's okay. Because as long as I'm only contending with one enemy at a time, we're not in any kind of bad shape. One more should do it. There we go. The Mohawk guy, I prefer to stay behind that pillar as long as he wants. He comes last. Okay, that was good. Do some manipulation. This guy I'm probably just gonna have to kill straight away. Like, he may fall off, he may not. Okay, that works. All right, this last segment's a little tricky thanks to the conveyor belts. We don't have to use them, but it's both advantageous and disadvantageous to use them. I disagree with that entirely. That was just unfortunate. That was lucky. Leather jacket guys can be a real issue sometimes. Their kick is way better than it has any right to be because they also have a really good jump kick to go with it. So they can close space when they don't have to. Their footsie's plan is too good, and sometimes you get stuff like that, and that's great. I really wish that didn't happen. Okay. I don't know about all that. Okay. Some manipulation here. I only got to use the conveyor belt to my advantage one time, and I think it was an enemy that had 1 HP left, so not great use, but we still got there. So there's no new enemy types in this next stage. Up the elevator, we don't actually find an elevator, so it's not actually a real beat 'em up as it turns out, but we do have a new sprite for a type of enemy here. The leather jacket guys gets a blue variant that spins in place for some reason, so we just call him Spinny Guy or Dancing Guy or some variant. They're kind of dangerous though. The fact that they can jump kick up a platform and still touch you, a little gross sometimes. Okay. Reasonable enough. Jump kick away. Another really good track here in a game full of them. There's not a bad song in this game. That was unfortunate. I couldn't hit one because he wasn't up yet, and the option selecting the other guy missed because he decided to block. Wow. Leave me alone. They're just getting the drop on me, man. Not my day to be picking fights with this game, I guess. What? Pipe just didn't even swing there. What's the deal with that? It's trades. Alright, moving on. Past this lovely chandelier. Very modern art. Also notice there's some stuttering in the emulator, and I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but it's definitely affected me in a couple ways. Nice stagger. Alright, so the boss wave at stage 6 is one of the hardest in the game. A bunch of leather jacket guys.
Come on, let's go.
And they attack in a big wave. There's like 6 of them, maybe 7. And if you lose your weapon even once, you're already in trouble. Yeah, we're sinking now. I really wish that didn't happen. You also have no ability to recover other weapons because they don't have weapons that they can drop. Their weapon is a knife, and it's exclusive to them. Like, you can't pick up what they drop because they don't drop it. This is bad. Alright, let me focus. Wow. Somehow that knife anti-aired me? Can't say I've seen that before. Those are the segments dangerous. If one thing happens that's in their favor, it snowballs out of control really fast. Yeah, I should have kept focusing on him. He set it up the way he wanted it. Okay. Oh, jeez. Alright, the 1 CC from this point is definitely not guaranteed. I'm on very low health, and the last stage is... The last full stage is kind of... There's a lot of tests that I have to pass. It's a fairly difficult stage. It's only 2 segments of enemies, but they're fairly long segments. Followed by some obstacles and an actual boss fight, which is rare in this game.
Come on, let's
Great
go.
music, as usual. I don't know how that missed, but they are really punishing me for trying to retreat. They're just not having it today. really wish they didn't miss. Okay. Just did that for spacing. Alright, let's see. You cannot be that far away. Wow, went for the fast attack. I hear you. All the correct plays. They're definitely playing correct a lot today. I'm used to like 3 of every 8 plays being correct today on a given day. Today it's like 7. Steady. Yeah, they keep, when they're in sync like this in terms of vertical movement, that's a problem. You cannot challenge them during that, because if you try to hit one, you will get the hit, but the other one gets to hit you, and then they gain momentum. And this section of enemies is probably the hardest in the game. We have a boss up there with his lip quivering for reasons. I got him at the same time, even though I knocked him down pretty far apart. In this segment, there's just a lot of enemies. A lot of them have weapons. There's 2 Mohawk guys. Both of them come in branching weapons. A couple of Arnolds. That was incredibly unfortunate. I couldn't tell you why I tried to decide to move instead of taking a swing, but it clearly cost me. Spacing. I did it for vertical spacing quite a bit. That's on me. Technically I have no health bar, but I'm not out of HP. Yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't get punished for it, but it was still a mistake. The aggression. This is really scary. Like, I don't really have a lot of real estate here. See what I mean? That was risky. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, it's rolling pins. I get hit once I die. Gotta dodge 4 of them. Okay, hardest part's over. Now we have a boss fight. And because of my health, I'm gonna have to play this safe, even though I don't normally like to. Safest play is just up and down jump kicks. Keep moving to dodge his attack. Axe will assuredly kill me. Kick will probably kill me. I don't want anything to do with either one of them. The downside of this strat is that it just doesn't do a lot of damage. Oh wow, I'm way overestimate. When I'm not rusty, I can sub 20 this game no problem, but this game has been kind of rude today. What I get, I guess. Again, this isn't shipping away for much, but it is safe. I died on a trade. Alright, game, if you say so. And like I mentioned, you can't beat that game if you don't 1cc it, so that's gonna do it for that. That's really unfortunate, but because I was overestimate, I'm not gonna put in another quarter. We'll just move on to the next game. That wasn't a double KO at all. It didn't kill him. It just knocked him down. But appreciate the faith all the less, Shima. Let's go ahead and move on. I'll get a splash screen up and we'll play another game.